Hey guys, it's Maggie and I am back today to talk about something that I really haven't talked about on this channel before, at least not in depth, and there are some reasons why I haven't shared about it. I've been asked before about pregnancy, trying to conceive with an ostomy, with a proctocolectomy, and I very badly wanted to talk about my journey with it, because that's what I talk about on here. And I had the hope that I would make a video titled, I don't know, can you get pregnant with an ostomy? And then at the end I would surprise you. So clearly that's not the case. Get that out of the way from the start. I hate this. So I'm gonna be frank with you guys and share the last year of life. I think that some of you have seen I've alluded to being stressed out. We're gonna talk about it. This video is going to cover the first 6 months that Zach and I tried to get pregnant. And I took little clips throughout it, so I will be sharing those. I'll sprinkle them in throughout the video. I'm sharing this I like don't even know what to say. I've tried to film this a lot and I'm like, no, you missed this point, you forgot to say this, you want to make sure you cover this. I know I'm gonna get questions, I know people are gonna have opinions about it, and I'm not sure I'm ready for it, but at the same time, I don't know anybody or I know very few people that are in my very particular situation of not just having an ostomy, but also having a proctocolectomy surgery, which impacts your ability, I guess, to get pregnant. And as Zach and I are getting further into this, I would really like somebody to talk to, because it sucks. So that's why I'm sharing this video. This is probably one of many. If I could take a wild guess. Like I said, this is gonna cover the first 6 months, and I will cover things as best as I can. I know that the number one thing I'm gonna be asked is, why don't you adopt? And that's the plan. That will always be the plan. That's part of the plan. Adoption means a lot to me. My dad was adopted. My family has adopted children. I love it, and I think it's just as magical. So that's the plan. Just to address that question, I know someone's gonna ask it. There's a lot to adoption. There is a lot. So I'm getting that one out of the way. There you go. All right, I'm going to start with when Zach and I started trying. Okay, so last January I made a video talking about being diagnosed with adenomyosis and going to my gynecologist about that. What I didn't tell you was that appointment was also to start the conversation of trying to get pregnant, because I knew that I had a complicated surgical past, and I wanted to know what to do. And that's when I got the information about trying for 6 months, and then if that doesn't happen, taking the next steps. Because I have a very regular cycle. My LH spikes on the same day every month, and my cycle's usually 28, 29 days. It doesn't really veer off of that much. So I started taking little clips of what was going on right around that appointment. I'm at a point in my health where I am healed enough from my most recent surgeries. I feel good. my Crohn's is being maintained. Yeah, and that is where we were at. So what I've been doing is tracking ovulation, so I get a good idea. I am very fortunate. I have very regular cycles, and I ovulate pretty much on the same day every month. That's totally easy for me to track, and I use the ovulation kits to do that. We eat pretty healthy as it is, but making sure that I'm getting like omega-3s, so I've been making sure I eat stuff like salmon a lot more. I've been taking a prenatal vitamin for a long time, like 3 or 4 months, and then the last thing that I am doing is I'm going to pelvic floor therapy. I'm actually not starting that yet. I'm starting it next week, so that way I get my uterus in the best health. What I was told from my gynecologist with everything that I have going on health-wise is to try for 6 months, and if I am not successful after 6 months, go back to her. So either this is going to be a 6-month long video or it's not. And so gynecologist gave us information about trying to get pregnant, you know, for regular people, like what to do, what to take, all that good stuff. Started me on pelvic floor therapy. I was also going to pelvic floor therapy, which I talked about a lot on here, to get my body in the best shape for pregnancy. So started trying with tracking in January, although we had been trying a few months prior to that, and I really hadn't prevented anything for a long time. So I was taking pregnancy tests and was getting negatives. A couple of months into it, I had one weird cycle, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if I had gotten sick or something, and it just threw me for a loop. It was really bizarre. But essentially my period was 7 days late. I'm going to share the clips from that. I started filming, I think, around day 5 of being late. Mind you, I was testing this whole time and every test was negative. Good morning. So I am late by 5 days. But I started spotting yesterday. I'm at the point where I'm really uncomfortable and I just want my stupid period to start because I know it's coming. Hormones are going crazy, it feels like. Like, I have all this acne popping up and my stomach is so uncomfortable, and it's been so uncomfortable for like the last 10 days. Like, they usually last 29 days and today is cycle day 34, which I have not seen a cycle this long in a really long time. Like, before my colectomy, because things were a little more variable before it and then they got super regular after it. So don't mind the crazy morning hairdo here. So it's only a couple days later from the last clip, and the reason I'm back is because my period is not here and I haven't had too many signs saying that it's coming. It's very strange. Like, my chest hurts, my stomach is off, and I don't know if I was saying it was cramps in the last clip, but it's almost like the impending period, like, you know it's coming soon. And I usually feel like I get this the day beforehand, and then the period starts and I get hardcore cramps the next day. Except I've been feeling this for 3 or 4 days now, and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's around the corner, it's around the corner. I think month 4 came, month 5 came, testing, all that stuff. Month 5, it really started to sink in that, okay, well, things might not be happening. I know that for the regular world, 5 months is like, okay, it could take you a year to get pregnant. And that's still true. But I knew the likeliness of me having problems. I've had a lot of adhesions. I actually had an adhesion clear out with my kidney the previous July. So I was kind of hoping that that was like good. Like, I got cleared out of all my scar tissue and now we're ready to go. But it was starting to sink in. We're getting closer to that 6-month mark. It is May 30th. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. This is month 5 of officially tracking my cycle. So I got fairly sick a few weeks ago. I think it was kind of a Crohn's flare. Do I bore you? I honestly don't have a lot of hope in my body, which is sad, because it's hard not to get your hopes up and take 8,000 tests every month, because then everything that you feel, you're like, oh my god, is that it? Am I pregnant? I just heard that 3 ostomy patients that I used to work with are all pregnant right now, and I'm like, that gives me hope. I don't know, guys. But anyway, it is month 5. Month 6 is probably the last month that we will try before we'll continue trying, but before I go to my gynecologist again. And cycle 5, I think at the end of that, when I got my period, I took another clip. I was disappointed because I knew I was going into the last month of trying, and we had my sister-in-law's baby shower, so I talk about that. 5th cycle comes and goes and nothing, which is what I expected, but yeah. Disappointed. We just had my brother's and my sister-in-law's baby shower 2 days ago, and it was awesome. I'm so excited for my nephew. I cannot wait. And for the first time ever, someone asked Zach and I if we were planning on having kids, and we're like, we would love to. We're trying to be super vague about it, but they kind of kept pushing, and it was a little awkward because I don't want to say, hey, I've had all of these abdominal surgeries and it might not happen for me. So I kind of just said like, yeah, if I can have children, we will. It was super awkward, and even Zach found it awkward because, I don't know, we've never been in that situation. My family is super, like, whatever we want, they're happy with, so. But, so next cycle will be the 6th cycle that I have been tracking, tracking my ovulation and timing. 8, I think it'll be 8 months of just trying in general. So if nothing happens after the next cycle, we're gonna move forward with contacting my gynecologist for the hysteroscopy, and whatever they want to do, they wanted me to call after 6 months because of everything I have going on, just to make sure that structurally everything's fine. So that is what we're gonna do. And we did get to that 6-month mark, with nothing, no positives. I'll tell you, the first response is those pregnancy tests, they got some indent lines on them. I convinced myself many a times that I could possibly be pregnant, and then I wasn't. So hey guys, it is month 7, I think, of trying. My gynecologist, I reached out to her and she kind of changed the plan, or at least what I understood to be the plan, and wanted me to reach out to the fertility clinic, and she said do surgery for endometriosis, which I don't think I have. Like, I just got opened up and cleaned out from scar tissue, like surgery scar tissue, about a year ago. And when she said surgery, like, she had told me a hysteroscopy, and I don't know if she just uses the word surgery to mean that. So I haven't reached back out, and I haven't called a fertility doctor. I don't know if I'm going to soon. It is 7 days past ovulation, and yet again I see a line, and I feel like, whatever, I'm going crazy, so I'm going to show. Actually, let me zoom this in a little bit. Hello? Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's showing up on camera. That appeared 3 minutes after, because I stare at the test. So it was well within the time frame, and this is why I get completely confused with this. I'm not counting it for anything, and I did take a little, like, cheaper test that shows nothing. So I don't know. I will test again tomorrow. Like, but yeah, you saw the line. You saw it. I know you did. So I reached out to my gynecologist and she said, hey, here's the phone number for the fertility specialist I'd like you to contact because I want to see if they think you have endometriosis and if they need to do surgery to explore that. And when she said surgery, I was like, what? What do you mean surgery? Because we hadn't really talked about that. We had talked about some different tests to see if the fallopian tubes are cleared or not. And it kind of freaked me out. I was like, wait, that wasn't what we talked about. So I had the phone number. I had the phone number for the fertility clinic, and that was July. And I just couldn't call it. I had tried a couple of times, and I was like, but what if this is the month, you know? What if this is it? And it's just gonna take a while. And it was hard for me to know that there was potentially a problem. Obviously, it's months later, so there's a frickin' pumpkin behind me. And there's more that I'm going to be sharing when I'm ready. I'm going to share when I'm ready. It was hard to come to terms with, you know, maybe your body is not going to work right. And I share this I think in a future clip I'll share with you guys. I'm going to talk about, like, kind of my body hasn't worked right, and I was really hoping that this would be the one right thing. I wanted to share this over the last year, but I just wasn't sure how it was going to turn out or what was going to happen. And, you know, Hannah Witten just shared her pregnancy announcement video. I've been following her basically since she's been talking about this. And it looked like she was also going to have to go to a fertility specialist, and then she got pregnant. Her situation's a little bit different, where she did not go through with a proctocolectomy surgery yet because it can impact your fertility. I went through with it because I was so miserable. So it was just taking a risk, and I know that whatever way it happens, it's gonna happen. You may have noticed that Zach and I like chaos. We've got 4 big dogs. We like the house bustling and people, and yeah. And I also think over the last year, it's been a lot of growth. I think that your want for children over time grows. I mean, not for everybody, obviously, but when you kind of make that decision, it takes time to develop it. I don't even know if that makes sense. I'm not going to make sense to anybody, but from where we started a year ago to where we are now, I have seen both of us, like, make decisions and do things that I couldn't imagine us doing a year ago. I hate this. I wanted to talk about it because I know very few people with proctocolectomies that have, you know, shared what happened for them in relation to this. And maybe down the line somebody will watch this video who's in the same position I'm in now. I have no idea. But I've talked about my health stuff on here a lot, so that's where we're at, guys. And when I'm ready to share the next part of this, I will do that. Alright, guys. I hope that you're feeling good, and I will see you in the next. Bye.